Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I just want to, on this day, September 11th, 911, I want to just point out something or share some information in looking at this day from several angles. One, we know for sure when you hear of 911 in this world, is concerning what happened on September 11th, 2001 with the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. But we know it also has a special meaning in our community, which was the day that Imam Mohammed Janaza was. We know, as we pointed out in the last post, that he passed on September 9th, but his Janaza was September 11, 911, 2008. Now here I'm starting by showing you this letter here, which I'll get back to you. But as you can see, it was a letter to Imam Mohammed on September 13th, 2007. But it says here, Bismillah, it says, Dear Imam W.D. Muhammad, as per our conversation on Tuesday, September 11, 2007, make note of that, at Brother Mahdi's Janaza in Chicago. Okay, take note of that. September 11, 2007, at a Janaza of a mutual friend. And I say, I'm inviting you to Newark, New Jersey, to do a public address at the Robert Treat Hotel, which is located in downtown Newark. You have spoken there several times in the past. The main room holds about 1,200 people. There are overflow rooms. Before I get to anything else, I'm pointing this out because this is exactly a year before Imam Muhammad's Janaza, and it was at a Janaza. And my invitation was when we were there together and we both participated in the Janaza of a mutual friend, that the Imam, after the Janaza, before I went to the gravesite to do my part, he said, when you gonna bring me up again? When you gonna bring me up? I said, I'm doing it right now. And so when I got back from Chicago, I sent him this letter. But as you can see, the conversation was September 11, 2007, which was the last time he and I spoke physically to each other, was in each other's presence. Exactly a year before he passed, and his Janaza was September 11, 2008. Now, as we can see, this Muslim Journal, that the Janaza for Imam Muhammad was the day in 2008, September 11, 2008. Some 15 years ago. But like I say, a year before that, on this same day, he and I was at a Janaza in Chicago for a mutual friend on that same day. Actually a year at a Janaza, of which both of us participated in. He led the prayer, and he instructed me to take care of things at the gravesite. So that was our last conversation in person, actually seeing and spending some time together. So I just thought that was, Allah knows best. He knows the seen and the unseen, that we would be at a Janaza, and unknown to both of us, a year from there would be his own Janaza. So let me share some other things with you just to verify this. Now, this is Brother Mahdi Islam Muhammad, the brother with the black suit. As you can see, Imam Muhammad and myself and Mahdi Islam Muhammad, a mutual friend. And this is here at Chicago State University, where I was the guest speaker with Imam Mohammed there. You can see Mahdi Islam Muhammad, a mutual friend, a loyal, dedicated follower and supporter of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Um, so, so when he was ill and we wasn't talking a whole lot, he had told his family if anything happens to him, reach out to Mustafa El-Amin and he would know what to do. Now, I didn't know he had that conversation with his family. Okay, now here's a picture of him speaking to Imam Muhammad. That's Mahdi and Imam Pasha, and you can see Imam Yahya Abdullah. And that's Mahdi Islam Muhammad, a loyal supporter of Imam Muhammad right here. That's the brother. That's the brother there. Just want to share something with us. I say it's spiritual. Allah knows best. It's interesting that I know the last time the Imam and I was there together was at a Janaza on 9/11 that we performed together. And as you saw the letter, I'll show you more. I'm inviting him to come to Newark. But in that same year, as we were trying to get it together, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which took us into 2008. So I had to back up off of that invitation. And then, as you know, he eventually passed. And as you can see, there you go again with, there he is again with myself, Sister Aisha, well-known brother in the Chicago area and even around the country, beautiful brother, hard-working brother, Lord dedicated, beautiful family. And like I say, I'm all the way in Newark, and I don't travel to do janazas, but when his family reached out to me, they said that's what he had said. And Imam, and what happened, I told them what to do in terms of trying to reach out to the Imam, and they reached out to his daughter, but nothing was confirmed as far as I know. So I flew down there at their invitation, and when I was there, doing what I can do to help at the funeral parlor, then Imam Muhammad, with his daughter, I think it was Layla, he walked in, he came in. And so he did come to me and asked me, had I spoken yet? And I said no. So then he instructed me to go ahead and make some comments. Then he had Mahdi's son make comments, and then he made his comments and led the prayer. And this is in the Muslim Journal. I'll share that with you, some of his powerful comments. But that's Brother Mahdi Islam Muhammad. It was his Janaza on September 11, 2007. And again, that was the last time me and the Imam was together physically. Actually, the last time I actually spoke to him in person at a Janaza, and not knowing, Allah knew best that his Janaza would be on the same day exactly a year later. And in between that, I was very bad shape. As I showed you the letter that I sent to the Imam with my sons on the front, but I still made it to his Janaza for sure, to Imam Muhammad's Janaza. This is a picture of me and the brother. I think this is in Harlem. He also did a lot of vending as well, of Mahdi Islam Muhammad. Alhamdulillah, I just think this is very interesting that we was actually at a Janaza and the Imams on the same day, a year later, would be Imam Muhammad's Janaza. So here, Brother Mahdi, here was the program. He was born August 11th, 1959, and he passed September 8th, 2007, whereas Imam Muhammad passed September 9th, 2007. With Mahdi, it was 3 days later for his Janaza, Imam Muhammad 2 days later. But here, just to verify this, you see, Tuesday, September 2007 is his Janaza. And now I'm invited. I'm all the way here in Newark, and as far as Imam is concerned, I'm not aware that he did too many janazas, but he had this love and respect for the brother, etc. A mutual friend, and everything else that went with that I may not have known about as well. But the Imam did his janaza. But I wasn't aware if the Imam was going to be there. We didn't communicate in that way. I know the family had reached out to him, but they reached out to me, and that's what I instructed them to do. And so the Imam and I, the last time we were together, we did a janaza together. I want to point that out. So whenever this September 11 comes around, in addition, of course, to the what happened in 2001 with the World Trade Center and all the memorials, but as it relates to our community, to our leader, and on a personal note to myself, this has special meaning and spiritual meaning, I would say. Also, just if no more than to say, you never know. You treat people right because you never know when the last time you're going to see them, and Allah knows what day we're going to go back. Now, on the back of this program, you can see, because they had reached out to the Imam, but nothing was confirmed, and I flew down anyway, but they put me on the program. They didn't have the Imam on the program because they wasn't sure what was going to happen, and they didn't know exactly how everything was done. But you can see Mustafa El-Amin. I was there to help out in any kind of way that I could. So when Imam Mohammed came again, and he spoke, well, when he came, he saw me. We greeted each other, of course. Imam Mohammed and I, we greeted each other, and we sat and discussed some things, and he instructed me to make my comments, which I did. Of course, Sister Aisha was there, and she covered the story as well. I think I was the only one from out of town, out of Newark there. So then from there, it appeared in the Muslim Journal, the Imam's comments. So he was put on the front page of the Muslim Journal, and a quote from Imam W.D. Muhammad's comments: "Life and death are from the same system." Imam W.D. Muhammad comments at the Janaza service for Imam Mahdi Islam Muhammad, who was born August 11th, 1959, and he passed September 8th, 2007. So now here's the article in the Muslim Journal with the words from Imam Muhammad: "Life and death are of the same system, remembering Imam Mahdi Islam Muhammad, born August 11th, 1959, passed September 8th, 2007, and his Janaza September 11, 2007. Exact year after that, Imam Muhammad passed. As Imam W.D. Muhammad gave remarks before leading the Janaza prayer, and after the prayer, he instructed me to take care of the rest at the gravesite. Janaza prayer for the Imam, for the Imam, that's Mahdi, brother, husband, father, and good friend to many. Imam Mahdi Islam Muhammad, he acknowledged the family's grief. Imam Muhammad acknowledged the family's grief. Say yes, this time it's normal to grieve like this. And here's the exact quote: "These are always sad occasions," said Imam Muhammad, referring to when we have to lay to rest a loved one, but also know that life and death are of the same system, he added, pointing to the inevitable cycle that everything goes through, except, of course, Allah himself. Speaking on his own sensitivities, Imam Muhammad told the family that without being overly superstitious, you will still feel your brother's presence, as he said he still feels from time to time the presence of his father and his mother of his father and mother, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Sister Clara Muhammad, and that of his son, Sedruddin. Perhaps these words gave some comfort through the packed hall at a Cedar Park funeral home where the Janaza was held. Yes, held the service. Mahdi's only son, Mahdi Islam Muhammad Jr., spoke on behalf of the family. Now, through his words, it was clear that he and Imam Mahdi were truly blessed for the father-son relationship they had. So now, at the conclusion of the Salat, the Imam and I, we talked for a while, and as I said, he said, you take care of things at the gravesite, which I did, and I always remember that because at the gravesite I recited Ayatul Kursi, and I recited the last three ayats of Hashr 59, where Allah gives us 15 of His attributes, and I got a little stuck there, and the people there at the gravesite, they helped me, the believers there, they helped me with that, so I always remember that. So now here the Imam says, when you're gonna invite me up? And this is 2007. Remember this. And to verify, this is another letter I sent to him as soon as I got back to Newark, September 13th, 2007. As I read, Assalamu alaikum, as I read before. As per our conversation, to verify what I'm saying, and it touches me in a certain way, and I'm just sharing this with you. And as we know, Allah is the knower of the seen and the unseen. That exactly a year before he passed, we were together doing a Janaza. And I tell you, and we never talked again after that. Okay, but let me read this letter here and let you know we had just got moved into the new place where we were going. But a few months later, I was diagnosed with a serious case of sinus cancer. And then in early part of 2008, I had the surgery, so I had to put this on hold. But anyway, let me read this real quick. Don't take too much of your time. Again, as per our conversation on Tuesday, September 11, 2007, at Brother Mahdi's Janaza in Chicago. I'm from Newark. I'm in Chicago. I'm inviting you to Newark, New Jersey, to do a public address at the Robert Treat Hotel, which is located in downtown Newark. You have spoken there several times in the past. The main room holds 1,200 people. There are overflow rooms as well. Now I'm going to go ahead on and read. Now, some of the dates that are available. This is in my letter, okay, to the Imam from the Janaza after the Janaza. Sunday, November 4, 2007. This may be a very good day because, as I understand, you are scheduled to be in Philadelphia on Saturday, November 3rd. And since you will already be in the area, it may be easier for you to come to Newark. It's one date that in this letter. Or, you see, Sunday, November 11, 2007. This may also be a good day because it is just before a holiday, Veterans Day. So people won't feel like they have to rush home and prepare for work the next day. The next available dates at the Robert Treat Hotel are Sunday, January 5th, that would be 2008, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. Thank you for your consideration. Hope to hear from you and see you soon. May Allah bless you with a lovely Ramadan. Now, all this is in Ramadan at the Janaza. Sincerely, Mustafa El-Amin. And here you can say I can also be contacted at these numbers here. So, brothers and sisters, just sharing this, that for me is interesting. I'm reaching for words. That exactly a year later, unknown to Imam and I, that his Janaza would be the same day, and I would be at that one. And as you know, even though I wrote this letter right away, you know, it takes time within his schedule and all of that. So it probably wouldn't have happened to the end of the year anyway. But then I was diagnosed with cancer in early end of 2007, early 2008, which really threw things off. I communicated to the Imam that by way of a phone call to one of his, I think his daughter, and he sent back word, tell Mustafa I'm praying for him. And so then I didn't see him. I didn't see him then and speak to him. And then, as you all know, September 11, 2008, Imam Mohammed Janaza. So, alhamdulillah, again, I just wanted to share this on this day, September 11, 15 years later from when the Imam passed, 16 years from our friend Mahdi Islam Muhammad. But so we know the significance and all that is associated with September 11th as it relates to the World Trade Center on a big level. But more specifically, with us concerning Imam Muhammad Janaza, and now as I'm sharing this with you, for me personally, and hopefully sharing something with you all in a positive way for us to think about and to know that Imam Muhammad was doing a Janaza, whether it was me there or not, and I'm just verifying it, a Janaza in Chicago on September 11, 2007, exactly a year before his Janaza would be September 11, 2008. Alhamdulillah, I'm glad I was able to witness that, and I'm just trying to share and let us know and always keep our faith and trust in Allah. Allah knows best, always. So I just think this is it's a spiritual thing in a certain way. The practical thing we will pass one day, and as Imam Muhammad pointed out at the Janaza, and he encouraged me to make comments. And again, we shared the Janaza together. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And as I shared in the last post, he passed on September 9th, 2008. And I posed the question that we give him the honor and respect that he deserved when he was alive. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Just thought this some information be good to share with the community. Mahdi Islam Muhammad introducing me in Chicago.
Imam Muhammad, Muslim American spokesman for human salvation. Imam Mahdi Islam Muhammad, president of the Islamic Student Association here at Chicago State University. And the teacher of Al-Islam.
I'm doing this just showing the connection with myself, Brother Mahdi Islam Muhammad and Imam Muhammad. This is at Chicago State University. That's this here. Yes, he was a beautiful brother, and everything happens for a reason. So it was in Allah's will that it would be at this brother's Janaza, that Imam Muhammad would be at exact same date before his own Janaza. Mahdi Islam Muhammad. Okay. And just as that brought us together for the first time, you know, at Chicago State, that was my first time speaking publicly before Imam Muhammad. On the religion of Islam, Nation of Islam, what's the difference? And it was Mahdi Islam Muhammad who brought us together. He put together the program, he invited me, and he invited Imam Muhammad. And so, isn't that interesting? at the end, at his Janaza, Imam Muhammad and I come together for the last time. For the first time and the last time. Now, that's just coming to me. Alhamdulillah. And I say the first time in terms of me speaking publicly before, in the presence of Imam Muhammad. Me and Imam had a relationship from '87, but in terms of bringing us together in that situation, alhamdulillah, Brother Mahdi Islam Muhammad. May Allah grant him and Imam Muhammad, of course, the highest level of Jannah. Tuesday, September 11, 2007. September 11, 2008. Be interesting. I'm gonna see what day was that.
Because I'm not gonna live, I'm gonna die. And maybe sooner than you think. Yes, I'm not gonna live, I'm gonna die. And maybe sooner than you think.
Alhamdulillah. So let us always trust in Allah, have faith in Allah, and know Allah is the source of life and death. And he says, speak not of those who die or are killed in some way in fi sabilillah as dead. They're alive. You just don't perceive them. You just don't understand. So hopefully what we shared here is of some benefit. I'm touched by it always, and just wanted to share that with us. And brothers and sisters, keep the faith, and we'll be all right. Let us just keep moving forward. But I want to share this today and give this perspective of September 11, 2007, and September 11, 2008. Also, as we always keep in mind what happened on September 11, 2001, and that's the day, so there'll be memorials for that. But as far as our community is concerned, specifically in this way here, our leader Imam Muhammad was buried on September 11, 2008, and on a personal note, I was with him on September 11, 2007. And for us to know and just to look at that Imam Muhammad on September 11, 2007 did a Janaza. And I was there to do the Janaza with him, not realizing that exactly a year later, he would be at his own Janaza. And for me, like I say, both was in Chicago. I don't live in Chicago, and I didn't even know that my good friend and brother had told his family, if anything happens to him, to talk to me, and I don't know exactly what to do. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So I'm closing. Being at his Janaza led to this letter here from me to Imam Muhammad, and our conversation on that same day, and a year later, as we know, it came to this right here. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum. Just something to think about, and to say that I was honored myself to be a part of this here, and to have helped do my friend's Janaza, and to be there with Imam Muhammad, and then even though I was very sick, to also make it here to Imam Muhammad's Janaza. So they had actually had me down just to verify this again. Okay. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.